What's good, peeps? Welcome to an Indefatigable Artist. I am your host, Bleace, just a multimedia artist living in the 21st century. Appreciate you listening. A like, comment, and a share goes a long way. A free way to pay it forward. Can always go further at Bleace.com, and be sure to sign up to our free newsletter. Let's go further together, one step at a time. Episode 22. Adjust accordingly. Am I running out of things to say? What will others think of all that I have said? Who cares anyway? What matters at the end of the day? The day. You know that day. One that haunts your dreams, wakes you up in the middle of the night with a scream. From the depths of your mind, it creeps. When someone asks, "What do you fear?" you don't say a peep. Fight or flee. You run into the woods, covered in fleas. Didn't even put on a fleece jacket. Hurried out of the house for fear of running circles in a straitjacket. Hairs matted, chest tatted, thoughts flattened. Trying to get mind over matter has left the mind in tatters. Can you trust your mind? Who is in possession of it? Is there such a thing? Thoughts are always fleeting. When you focus on something, how long is the accuracy there? From how far can you stay focused on something? Out of sight, out of mind? When was it in my mind? Who took it out? Who took it away from me? That was my goal. I wanted so fucking badly, so bad he killed me. The other me, the one I used to be, when my time was free. Younger face gets harder to see. On this journey, we are never alone, but our mind sometimes doesn't like company, and it can make our time lonely. Loneliness is not having someone to talk to, so you write to talk to yourself as someone else. My mind gives life to many characters. When I look in the mirror, who have I become? Who am I right now? Look into a person's eyes, and you can see an entire universe in there. Look into a group of eyes, and you can see an entire rehearse in there. Mob mentality. No time for a hearse. Get that body to the golf course, by the green, water the grass on this side of the fence, pollute the rest. Mine may not be the best, but kill the rest. I have killed many along the way. Look into a person's eyes, and you can see an entire universe in there. Think of all the chaos, hostility, and murder that occurs there every second of existence. It's mercilessly unrelenting in its ability to cause chaos. The only constant in life is change, savage change. Instantly rip the skin off your body, smash your skull, bullet through the brain, change. Slap chains around your wrist. Now you are property. Says who? Says this piece of paper I wrote. I can't read what it says. That's not the point, boy. I made these symbols up. Until you learn them, you are mine. Well, can I study? Can you teach me? Now, why would I do that? The more you know, the more questions you're going to ask. Right now, I have you in a weakened state. I have the upper hand. the one that holds the veil over your face and rattles your chains. Raise a fist to me and I will eat your brains. Give me your wife, I need a lay. What if I say, what can you say? Act up and I will put you away. Put me where? In a cage to stay, in a cage for all of your days. But who will say that's okay? I made the symbols. I write the laws. With these words, I shape public perception. Look how I can have them all call some human beings illegal. With just a simple sheet of paper, I can give this script to the media. Watch how many parakeets start tweeting the same thing over and over again until it's ingrained into their fucking mind. It occupies every thought they have. I have implanted my words generation after generation until it becomes normal. What is normal? Normal is whatever I say it is, whatever I want people at any given time, whatever is best for my needs at any given time. But why can I not live this way that my family has, the way that does not harm others for sport? Because I need to be constantly stimulated, and I have grown bored doing my own chores. I need you and a few more to do it for me. But I don't want to. What if I give you a green piece of paper to do it? What can I do with a green piece of paper? I can't eat it. I can't plant it in the ground. What use is that? You can use it to buy crops from that farmer over there. Buy crops? Why not just give food to whoever's hungry? Because we need people starving to death to remind others that they better keep producing, or it will be them out on the street. We can't let the populace get too comfortable, can we? We have to keep them alive, but barely. They can drink the trickle of my piss as I cram my fist down their throat before throwing them in my moat. I give more feed to my dead goat than I will you, John Doe. I have killed many along my journey, killed many just because they bore me. Now, you should thank me for allowing you to live. I expect a percentage of all your wages for the privilege. But you are stealing me from my land and bringing me to a place I don't want to be. I just want to be left alone. That is what I want. Why would I need protection if we all know that killing another is bad? We all know it is bad. So why would anyone kill another? Why store food away while others are wasting away at your golden gates? Why would you idolize false idols in between commercials that are programming you to act a way that goes against your best interest? You create the power to kill and to incarcerate others because a sheet of paper says you can. When do we get to say what goes on that paper? When can we make changes that benefit us? When will we get together and say, this is not the way we want to live? It's the way we were forced to live, the way we were programmed to live. Who says commercial breaks have to be constantly trying to sell us something? Why can't it be a 3 to 5 minute lesson in emotional intelligence? Or uplifting people creatively, not through a pharmaceutical drug commercial after drug commercial. How is this possible? How is this normal? There are other ways of curing this silent pandemic we are suffering from. More drugs. Oh, they stopped 15 tons of cocaine coming into the country. But why are all those drugs coming here in the first place? They certainly aren't going out. Certainly not exporting the drugs from the US. They are inhaling the drugs at an alarming rate, consuming just some terrible shit right now that is just having a devastating impact on the most vulnerable among us. We are all products of our environment. When will enough be enough? When will people finally say this is not normal? This is malignant normalization, which has occurred over decades and decades, all of it depleting itself down to this moment where the U.S. has crossed $30 trillion in debt. Again, what does money even mean? What good are those green papers, those black letters on the screen? Oh, that's just ridiculous. This world is the way it is and will always be this way. Stop talking nonsensical. Now, I need you to hate your fellow man. They are trying to take something from you, your way of life, take away your pride. I'm willing to say whatever you despise to get you to act out and to battle cry, rage a war against the other half of the population, as I know that it's cooperation that is ultimately better than competition. If too many of you started to cooperate with one another, then there would be an uprising. You would start to see these illusions for what they are. It will expose the game, the trick. The magician must never reveal his trick. We must go on to the next trick, then the next. And when the house of cards all falls down, we build another house somewhere else. In the Caymans, perhaps? In the Bahamas? The militarized banks must be fed at all times. The military and the bank is the longest standing relationship this country has. If they divorce, then it's all over. The game is finished. We must keep the banks happy at all costs so they can keep the military loyal to the cause. At the end of the day, it's all about keeping people in the pyramid scheme happy. You must know your role and play it well. Are you willing to do that? No, I just want to live the way I want to live. Please, just leave us be in our own land. See, I just can't do that. If I have you living on this land, you must be obeying our rules. But I can't read your rules. Just scroll to the bottom of the terms and conditions. No need to read it. We capitalized all of the letters, so it makes it harder for people to read. We really just want to make it as difficult as possible for people to read, as we really don't want people reading it. We also make the rules very vague so we can break them at will. I mean, who is going to fight us? You can't even read the rules. So just trust me on this and get to work. But I don't want to do the job you are telling me to do. I just want to stay here and be free. You see, we have a different definition of what freedom is. You can be free under our rules and regulations. But we are going to have a militarized police force. They are going to be hiding in bushes and hunting people down like prey. Why? Because it's a monetized business for them, and they have quotas to make. We are actually proud to announce that our country has the highest incarceration rate in the world, and it's not even close. We are currently building more prisons for profit than schools, because again, we don't want to teach you the rules. We want to distract you and convict you. Rarely do we want to actually kill you. That is costly to us. But a good killing every now and then lets you know who is in charge. Are you ready to be free? Are you ready to make money? But I am free. I'm an individual now. Why can I not just be free the way I want to be, as long as I do not harm others? And make money? What is this word money? I'm not familiar with it. It's the green paper I was telling you about. Oh, the green paper you want me to use to buy crops? Why can't I just eat when I'm hungry? That is against the rules. Everything must be paid for with this currency. This is the way it has been and the way it always will be. Is that so? Then why are you then $30 trillion in debt? Why is the average citizen over $200,000 in debt? Everyone owes this money you talk about. They are all indebted servants to these centralized banks who in turn control the military and the police force. If everyone uses this money you speak of, how could this happen? Why are there empty buildings, empty homes with people living in the street? Why is there food rotting in the fridges of the wealthy while a child's stomach rumbles hungry? How can children concentrate on learning the rules of your game while they are starving? That is exactly the point. We don't want the children to think so straight. We want to keep the school to prison pipeline going strong. We need more slaves, I mean inmates, to work at these prisons for profit. And why do you keep changing the rules to the game? How come some other citizens can have a say in what gets written into these new rules? Because they are the winners of the game. They have accumulated the most of those green pieces of paper and have gotten others to play the game. Is that like a Ponzi scheme? No. We see those as awful and against the rules. So why is there a boss and then people under him who make less of this green paper? What other incentive in life can there be if it weren't for this green paper? To live, to explore, to experience this life for all that it is. This planet is a huge and wondrous place. To get to every inch of this planet would take a lifetime. And who is going to get you there? You would need money to buy a ticket. And how much did the first airplane cost to make? How much did the first automobile cost to create? The first wheel, the first computer? Humans are creators for the sake of creation. Humans are naturally nomadic. It is only natural to want to venture into this universe, this one song and dance. Think of how much more we could get done if we stopped making military equipment and just made spaceships that went further. How many satellites could we create if the military budget went to the space program? If humans just cooperated with one another, worked together, cooperation over competition. For those who may wonder why I go off on these tangents, ask yourself, what good is a piece of art if there isn't anyone alive to see it? What good is a piece of art if there isn't anyone alive to see it? There have been 6 mass extinctions on this planet, and some say the next one has already begun. How are we going to overcome? We have to have a more nuanced discussion about how so many of these issues we face, or we risk being just completely wiped off this planet. If we don't cooperate, if we don't overcome these obstacles that we face, we will look back and ask, what could I have done? I think about that often, about how future generations will look back at this time and see what is being said, how people's time was being spent. What will your record of that look like? What can you say you did to help any number of these issues that we face? Solution-based mindset. It's easy to just point to a problem for the sake of pointing it out. But what next? What is the next step? What can you as an individual do about it? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to obtain new information and adjust your behavior accordingly? Or will you stay the same and refuse to change until it's too late, adapting a fixed mindset over a growth mindset instead of embracing a growth mindset and adapting to change and evolving and progressing and exploring and going further? And if this is my last episode ever, and one of those times that will be true. So I want to say it now, because if not now, when? But I just want to say before I go one last thing. And if it's the last thing I ever say, I want it to be this. Appreciate you listening. Be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and share. It's a free way to pay it forward. Can always go further at Bleace.com and sign up to our free newsletter. Let's go further together, one step at a time.